It's midnight and you're tuning into Nightline with me, Liyanna Hassanel. News making the headlines. Malaysia to continue South China Sea exploration, says Prime Minister. And 2 more doctors remanded in fake SATSA claims probe. The headlining story. Malaysia will continue its oil and gas exploration in the South China Sea, despite protests from China. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim stressed that the operation carried out by Malaysia is still within its own territorial waters, and there's no reason for the country to commit provocative actions against China.
Kita kata kita akan terpaksa teruskan kerana ini soal survival ekonomi negara kita. Tapi kalau nak bincang, kita tidak pernah menolak kemungkinan untuk bincang. Tapi tidak maksudnya kita kena hentikan operasi di kawasan kita.
Anwar said this at a press conference with the Malaysian media in conjunction with his 2-day working visit to Vladivostok, Russia, which ended on Thursday. He added that Malaysia will explain its position to China, as both countries have always been able to resolve their disputes through dialogues. However, the issue should not affect the close diplomatic ties shared between Malaysia and China. It was reported recently that Beijing, through a diplomatic note, has demanded that Malaysia immediately halt all oil and gas activities in the oil-rich areas of the coast of Sarawak, despite these areas being located within Malaysia's territorial waters and the exclusive economic zone, EEZ, shared by Malaysia, the Philippines, Brunei, Taiwan and Vietnam. On another matter, Anwar said that Malaysia's participation in the intergovernmental organisation BRICS is for the benefit of its people and the nation. The Prime Minister said that the matter should not cause concern to other countries, as Malaysia is an independent nation and adopts an open approach to international cooperation.
Ada beza kita pendapat dengan Amerika, ada beza pendapat dengan Eropah. Ada pendapat dengan India atau China atau Rusia, tapi ini tidak menghalang hubungan baik kita dan juga terutama dalam ekonomi kerana ia beri manfaat kepada rakyat.
Anwar also said that Russian President Vladimir Putin's personal invitation for Malaysia to attend the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia next month reflects the priority given to the country for potential membership in the economic bloc. In addition, Anwar said Malaysia's participation in BRICS opens up opportunities for South-South cooperation, which is highly beneficial for the country. Established in 2009, the Russia-led grouping also includes Brazil, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia and the United Arab Emirates. Together, BRICS members represent 26.2% of the world's gross domestic product, GDP, nearly equal to the economic strength of the G7 group. Meanwhile, Anwar said that Malaysia and Russia have agreed that Israel should immediately stop the violent and cruel attacks on Gaza. The Prime Minister added both he and Putin also agreed that the international community must intensify pressure to end Israel's ruthless genocidal campaigns against Palestinians.
No country, no person can continue to do this gross injustice and tolerate the atrocities and think they are safe. I don't believe that can ever be accepted. We want justice to all mankind. And of course, we cannot deny justice because of their different color or different religion or different creed. Justice means justice for humanity. And it's time that Palestine and Palestinians are treated as human beings, not as slaves or second-class people. Thank you.
Anwar said this during the question and answer session at the 9th Eastern Economic Forum, EEF 2024, in Vladivostok on Thursday. At the same time, he said Malaysia also respects the steps taken by Egypt to channel humanitarian aid, food and medicine to Gaza. Earlier, Hamas on Thursday has accused Benjamin Netanyahu of trying to thwart a Gaza truce deal after the Israeli Prime Minister said the Palestinian group had rejected everything in negotiations. Hamas is now demanding a complete Israeli withdrawal from the area and warned against falling into the trap of Netanyahu and his tricks as he uses negotiations to prolong the aggression against the Palestinians. They also said a new deal is unnecessary because they agreed to a truce outlined by US President Joe Biden months ago. The blame trading also comes as Netanyahu said his military must retain open-ended control over Gaza's southern border area with Egypt, and that Israel would only consider withdrawing when presented with an alternative plan to police the area. However, Egypt, a mediator in the ceasefire talks, has now demanded a concrete timeline for their withdrawal from the corridor. Now, during his address at the plenary session of EEF 2024, Anwar highlighted that Russia can leverage Malaysia's position as a global leader in Islamic finance. The Prime Minister stated that this is an area ripe for collaboration between the two countries, as Malaysia is recognized as a global leader with a robust ecosystem of institutions that not only adhere to Sharia principles but also drive innovation in financial instruments.
Russia, with its sizable Muslim population, stands at the threshold of enormous potential in Islamic finance, and I believe the introduction of Islamic banking in Russia can facilitate joint projects and attract significant investments from Muslim-majority nations.
In his speech, Anwar also described his visit to Russia as momentous on a personal level, as it was the first time for him to set foot in the largest country in the world. According to news reports, Russia launched the Islamic banking system in 4 major Muslim-dominated regions in the country, beginning September 1st last year, as part of a 2-year pilot program. The country has a sizable Muslim population of between 20 million and 25 million.
How does US-based Amazon's 29.2 billion ringgit investment through AWS showcase Malaysia's appeal to global tech giants? How could these elevate Malaysia's position in Southeast Asia's digital economy? What new opportunities will this create for Malaysians? Money Matters with AWS Malaysia Country Manager Peter Murray this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
In Pulau Pinang, 3 more individuals have been remanded by the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Thursday over the submission of falsified Social Security Organisation SOCSO disability claims. The 3 male suspects comprise 2 senior doctors from a government hospital, aged 43 and 50, and a 32-year-old agent. Magistrate Siti Nurul Suhaila Baharin issued the 4-day remand order until this Sunday on the trio to assist investigations into the case by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. The suspects were detained following a special operation conducted by the state MACC in collaboration with SOCSO on Wednesday. The 2 senior medical officers are believed to be working at a hospital in Seberang Jaya. The case is being investigated under the MACC Act. On Wednesday, 33 people, including 3 doctors, 19 SOCSO contributors, 8 agents and 3 runners, aged between 26 and 50, were remanded in connection with the case. It is understood that most of the falsified claims were made for injuries relating to the anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, and issues with slip discs or cartilage problems. Meanwhile, the MACC has seized cash and valuables estimated to be worth 1 million ringgit from the 36 suspects detained in the false SOCSO disability claims case. Sources revealed that among the valuables seized were jewelry, luxury handbags, watches, and vehicles. Initial investigations revealed that the amount of bribes involved is approximately 2 million ringgit. Tengku Mahkota of Pahang, Tengku Hassanel Ibrahim Alam Shah, Al-Sultan Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, has urged the police to ensure a fair investigation into allegations that a member of the state's royal family had attacked a man in June. He added that no one is above the law, not even members of the royal family.
In a statement on Thursday, Tengku Hassanel emphasized that the police must not compromise with any party to ensure justice is served. He also said that if there is proof of the offence, the perpetrators must be brought to court. Earlier, a news portal reported that a construction worker was assaulted by a group of men, including a member of the Pahang royal family, at a stable in Kuantan, Pahang in June. The 44-year-old victim, known as alias Awang, was allegedly stabbed with a sharp weapon and shot at the incident. Meanwhile, State Police Chief Yahaya Othman said the investigation paper into the incident is being completed and will be sent to the public prosecutor soon. He added that several people have been arrested and released on bail before this, while witnesses were also summoned to assist in the probe.
France rape trial. Woman testifies against husband, 50 male suspects. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return.
Adakah mesej pemasaran anda mencapai pelanggan yang secukupnya? Ketahui cara menarik perhatian pelanggan sasaran anda di seminar pemasaran wajib hadir percuma tahun ini, Omnia Advantage. Penjimatan sehingga 85% daripada kempen pengiklanan TV anda yang seterusnya. Daftar sekarang di omniaadvantage.com.
Kerja! Kita dah tahu dah kau siapa sebenarnya.
Tahu suami saya? Kau penyondol. Kenapa penyondol muka macam ni?
Bos awak ni dah berpunya belum?
Padu.
Cing. Siapakah nama kau?
Tadi dah cakap kan, Daya?
Ingin sangat jadi polis. Saya nak tanya, Saman ada diskaun tak?
Hello, apa-apa boleh saya bantu?
Layan jiwa di petang hari bersama drama-drama penuh emosi.
Awak, bukalah pintunya, awak!
Retak 7 September.
Sekolah kecil!
Maulidur Rasul datang lagi 14 September. Bayang 21 September. Waktu Khalil 28 September.
Tengok apa jadi pada kali sekarang?
Drama terhangat bulan ini hanya di cerai kepilihan TV3. Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
The foreign news. French President Emmanuel Macron on Thursday has named the European Union's former Brexit negotiator, Michel Barnier, as France's new Prime Minister after more than 50 days of a caretaker government. Macron held talks with the 73-year-old veteran politician at the Élysée Palace, tasking him with forming a new government in the hopes of ending weeks of political deadlock in the country. However, the far-right national rally's RN's Marine Le Pen said party will not participate in a government led by Barnier. She also said the RN is waiting to see his policy. Left-wing parties also criticized Macron's choice. Barnier now faces the daunting challenge of trying to push reforms and the 2025 budget through a hung parliament at a time when France is under pressure from the European Commission and bond markets to reduce its deficit. Still in France, a woman whose husband admitted to repeatedly drugging her so she could be raped by other men has testified on Thursday on her years-long ordeal in the public trial of 51 of her alleged abusers.
Giselle Plico took to the stand for the first time at a criminal court in Avignon, recounting the moment in 2020 when police showed her images revealing a decade of sexual abuse. Giselle told a panel of 5 judges that the abusers treated her like a rag doll, adding that she had only plucked up the courage to watch the footage in May 2022. According to investigators, Giselle's husband, Dominique Plico, abused and drugged her with sleeping pills and then recruited dozens of strangers to rape her. They counted around 200 instances of rape, most of them by Dominique, that took place between July 2011 and October 2020. 50 other suspects, aged between 26 and 74, have so far been identified and tracked down. Most of them face up to 20 years in jail for aggravated rape if convicted.
Over in the U.S., at least 4 people have been killed after a student shooter opened fire on Georgia high school grounds. Among those killed were 2 students and 2 teachers, while 9 others were taken to local hospitals with various injuries. According to officials, authorities received reports of an active shooter at the campus at about 9:30 a.m. local time on Wednesday. The gunman, a 14-year-old student, later surrendered without a struggle and was taken into custody. The attacker faces steep consequences and is expected to be charged with murder and to be tried and handled as an adult. Investigations are now ongoing to find out the motive behind the attack. The shooting marks the deadliest U.S. school shooting of the year and the first since June. South Korea on Thursday said it recorded its highest average summertime temperature since records began half a century ago, recording nearly 2 degrees Celsius higher than the historic average. It was reported that from June to August, the average temperature in the country was 25.6 degrees Celsius. This marks the highest figure since the agency set up observation posts to gather data in 1973, and is 1.9 degrees Celsius higher than the historical average for the summer period. According to the Korea Meteorological Administration, climate change was altering South Korea's weather patterns. The agency's head said the country is now experiencing heavy downpours during the monsoon season and prolonged heat wave and tropical nights, which in turn have caused significant discomfort and damage to the public. Sinner sets up Draper's semi-final. Sports when we come back.
Terbaru ditonton.
Nenek sakit apa, Mak? Macam ada satu sumpahan dari saka perawan. Hai, isteri. Tak adalah.
Dan sanggup tolong nenek. Saya boleh bantu. Dia tu penunggang agama.
Kau bukan level aku.
Muat turun dan layan tonton sekarang. Semua favourite anda di sini.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Episod terakhir bertemakan black tie.
Tadi kau seorang tak? Yelah bila dah tengok dia berbahaya.
Bercanggah pendapat.
Betul dan tak betul tak ada beza.
Kau ni mana satu?
Kau lalak kan? Tersalah kan?
Misi tetap diteruskan.
Kau simpan je lah benda tu. Saya yang pilih biar.
Tidakkah engkau sedar?
Episod akhir I Can See Your Voice Malaysia musim ke-7 Ahad 9 malam di TV3.
We're back with sports, the 2024 Paris Paralympics. National para-swimmer Muhammad Nur Shaiful Zulkafli settled for 7th spot in the men's 50-meter freestyle S5 final on Thursday. The 29-year-old Sarawakian, who was the gold medalist at the 2022 Hangzhou Asian Para Games, recorded a time of 34.34 seconds. China's Guo Jincheng took home the gold after clocking 29.33 seconds, while his compatriot Yuan Weiyi claimed silver. Earlier, Nur Shaiful secured his spot in the final after finishing 4th in the second heat with a time of 34.51 seconds. In other Paralympic actions, Harvinder Singh made history by winning India's first ever para-archery gold. The 33-year-old defeated Poland's Łukasz Syzek 6-0 in the gold medal match of the men's individual recurve open event. Earlier, China's women dominated the first day of powerlifting as Guo Lingling improved her world record in the up to 45 kilograms class. 35-year-old Lingling took her best on the bench press from 121 kilograms in February to 123 kilograms in Paris, with Britain's Zoe Newson in second place, 14 kilograms lighter with her leading effort. In tennis, Dutchmen Sam Schroeder and Niels Vink defended their wheelchair quad doubles title on Roland Garros' world-famous red clay. The duo breezed past their British challengers, Andy Lapthorne and Gregory Slade 6-1, 6-1, in a match lasting little over an hour. Turning to tennis now, the 2024 US Open. Jannik Sinner has reached the semi-finals for the first time by getting past 2021 champion Daniil Medvedev on Wednesday. The top-ranked Sinner broke through Medvedev's defenses to win 6-2, 1-6, 6-1, 6-4 in a seesawing quarter-final match. Sinner will go up against number 25 Jack Draper of Britain for a berth in the title match. Earlier, Draper crushed world number 10 Alex de Minaur to reach his maiden Grand Slam semi-final. The 25th ranked 22-year-old showed all of his youthful talent, along with grit and determination, to secure a 6-3, 7-5, 6-2 victory over the Australian in the quarter-final. Draper also became the first man since 2020 to reach the Final Four at Flushing Meadows without dropping a set. In the women's category, Jessica Pegula pulled off a major upset of Iga Swiatek, beating the number 1 ranked woman 6-2, 6-4 to win a Grand Slam quarterfinal for the first time on her 7th try. The American will make her debut appearance in the semi-finals against unseeded Karolina Muchova of the Czech Republic. Earlier, Muchova defeated Brazil's Beatriz Haddad Maia in straight sets 6-1, 6-4 to reach her 4th career Grand Slam semi-finals. The Czech, who returned to action in June after recovering from the injury that led to surgery in February, fought through hip discomfort in the quarter-final to dispatch the Brazilian in 85 minutes. Nearly 2 million ringgit worth of drugs seized. The details after this short break.
Hello, I tolong you.
Bos! Bos ni rosak lagi lah, bos. Biasanya rosak lah. Rosak jadi bos. Ini problem. Bos, ini problem.
Hei! Apa ni? Orang nak jawab telefon pun tak boleh. Ni tak dengar lu. Apa tadi? Tak dengar. Ha? Nah, putus dah.
Layan jiwa di petang hari bersama drama-drama penuh emosi.
Awak, bukalah pintunya, awak.
Retak 7 September.
Sekolah kecil.
Maulidur Rasul datang lagi 14 September. Bayang 21 September. Waktu Khalil 28 September.
Apa jadi pada Khalil sekarang?
Drama terhangat bulan ini hanya di cerai kepilihan TV3. Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Cik kakak, betul ke sekarang cik kakak ada masalah? Jadi cik kakak nak guna masalah mahkamah nak kena khidmat polis ke? Cik kakak no comment kan kita sampai hati dia. Guys, kalau korang nak tengok gosip, jangan lupa saksikan Melodi setiap hari Ahad pukul 12.30 tengah hari di TV3 atau stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. The Malaysia Competition Commission, MyCC, has imposed penalties totaling over 446,000 ringgit on 7 privately held firms for their involvement in a bid rigging cartel. This is following the Commission's infringement decision issued against these companies for violating Section 4 of the Competition Act. The action was taken against the 7 companies for manipulating bids on 4 tenders awarded by the Defence Ministry, MINDEF, worth 20 million ringgit between 2017 and 2020. These tenders involved services related to the maintenance and replacement of fire extinguishers, as well as respiratory aid equipment.
Pada 19 Disember 2023, MyCC telah mengeluarkan keputusan cadangan kepada 7 perusahaan yang terlibat itu dan seterusnya telah menerima representasi mereka. Dan kami telah menilai sedalam-dalamnya representasi mereka. Dari situ kami telah membuat keputusan bahawa terdapat pelanggaran terhadap kesemua 7 perusahaan pada 30 Ogos 2024 dan ianya telah diserahkan kepada perusahaan-perusahaan pada pagi ini.
He noted that MyCC's investigation revealed 2 cartel groups, with one of the companies playing a central role in all 4 tenders by setting the base price, while the rest submitted higher bids to ensure its success. Iskandar said that these companies must pay the penalties within 30 days, but may appeal the decision through the appeal tribunal. MyCC will also pursue legal action if the companies fail to pay the fines. Meanwhile, MyCC is also actively investigating the involvement of 14 bid rigging cartels in other government tenders worth 2.37 billion ringgit. These cartels involve 561 companies across various industries, including construction, transportation, and pharmaceuticals. Police have busted a drug syndicate distributing ketamine and ecstasy worth 1.6 million ringgit at a condominium in Cheras. According to Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Commissioner Datuk Rusdi Muhammad Isa, 3 suspects were arrested in a series of raids conducted on Monday.
The operation was conducted by the Narcotics Crime Investigation Department (NCID) at 11:35 a.m. until 5 p.m. Police arrested the 3 male suspects aged 23 to 30 in the first raid on a condominium in Cheras. The authorities also seized 10.5 kilograms of ketamine, estimated to be worth 1.6 million ringgit, in a bag belonging to one of the suspects. Following their arrest, police were led to a house in Cheras Perdana, believed to be used as a storehouse for the drugs obtained from overseas.
Hasil pemeriksaan telah menjumpai 3 bungkusan plastik lusina berisi dada disyaki ekstasi, anggaran berat 5.2 kg dan 2 bungkusan plastik putih berisi dada disyaki ketamin anggaran berat 4 kg.
Police also confiscated 900 ringgit in cash, jewellery worth 4,000 ringgit, and a Perdoa Myvi. Checks revealed that 2 of the suspects tested positive for ketamine and THC. All 3 suspects are remanded for 6 days until Monday. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952.
In Kuala Lumpur, a man has been arrested for allegedly slashing another man in the neck at the People's Housing Programme PPR in Pekan Kepong on Wednesday. According to Sentul District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ahmad Sukarno Muhammad Zahari, the 28-year-old suspect was arrested at the scene at 6:45 p.m. and remanded for 6 days after he was involved in an argument with the victim over a blocked vehicle at the parking area.
Masa tu mak saudara dia tak boleh nak keluar kereta. Jadi kereta tu diblok oleh kereta suspek lah. Jadi owner kereta ni, perempuan ni dah bunyikan horn. Tak ada siapa ni. Masa tu pukul 5.30. Kemudian pukul 6 tu owner kereta tu datang lah marah-marah.
The scuffle was recorded by a witness's mobile phone and has since gone viral on social media platforms. The recording showed the suspect slashing the victim with a 32-centimeter long knife. The 24-year-old victim was sent to the Selayang Hospital, where he received 35 stitches on his head and left hand. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for voluntarily causing grievous hurt with a weapon.
As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as dozens of people in China's Heilongjiang province lined up to taste a mooncake that weighs nearly 100 kilograms. The cake, filled with fish floss that has been roasted for more than 8 hours, made its debut ahead of the up-and-coming Mid-Autumn Festival on September 17th. With that, I'm Liyanna Hassanel. Thank you for tuning in, and be well, Malaysia.